Hello BL lovers, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the BL tops who embody toxic masculinity in BL series. Toxic masculinity in BL is often romanticized as part of the power dynamics between couples, but in reality some of these guys are walking red flags that we just choose to ignore. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more BL content. And if you want me to do a follow-up on toxic masculine BL bottoms, like this video so it get the attention it deserves. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Pete from Dark Blue Kiss. Pete is often celebrated as a caring and protective boyfriend, but if we look closely, his behavior leans more toward control and possessiveness. He struggles to trust Kyle fully and often wants to dominate the relationship, which comes off as him trying to secure his partner rather than understanding and respecting boundaries. Plus their history makes things more complicated. Since Pete used to bully Kyle in the past, it's kind of create a power imbalance, where Pete's intimidating presence still lingers even in their romantic dynamic. His lack of emotional maturity and understanding of how healthy relationships work feeds into toxic masculinity. Number 2. Guhai from Addicted Heroine. Guhai is probably one of the most iconic yet problematic tops in BL series. He embodies toxic masculinity to the extreme. Guhai takes what he wants without considering the emotional or physical consequences for his boyfriend. In their relationship, Bai Luoyin often has little to no say or control because Guhai's intense personality and domineering behavior leave him no room to voice his own needs. Guhai's actions come off more as intimidation and entitlement than love, making the relationship feel imbalanced and even unhealthy overall. Number 3. Sagasaki Mizuki from My Personal Weatherman. Sagasaki is one of the clearest examples of toxic masculinity in BL. It's almost like he forgot he's in a relationship with another human being that is not an object or a property. He constantly intimidates Yo, treats him like property, and manipulates him emotionally. Sagasaki doesn't just want Yo's love. He wants to make Yo dependent on him for survival, cutting him off from the outside world to maintain control. This level of possessiveness and dominance is textbook toxic masculinity. It's about power, not partnership. Number 4. Kin from Kin Porsche. Kin and Porsche's relationship is one of the most popular in BL, but if you look closely, Kin embodies toxic masculinity in subtle but impactful ways. He often refuses to show vulnerability or accept help, believing he must stay in control at all costs. While Porsche doesn't seem to mind Kin's dominant nature, it doesn't erase the fact that Kin often prioritizes power over emotional companionship. In a healthy relationship, both partners should have room for opinions and emotions, but Kin's approach can feel stifling. Number 5. Ming from My Stand-In. Ming is another character whose actions scream toxic masculinity, even though some viewers romanticize his behavior. Instead of respecting boundaries and accepting Joe's initial rejection, Ming goes to extreme lengths to force Joe's trust and love. This isn't persistence, it's obsession. Ming couldn't accept the idea of losing or being turned down, so he used his power and influence to tip the scales in his favor. While some argue that Ming's actions come from love, the reality is that love doesn't require control. His entire approach is built on domination, making him a prime example of toxic masculinity. Number 6. Kimal from Unforgettable Night. Kimal is the definition of romanticized toxicity. At first glance, it seems like a classic sugar daddy or sugar baby relationship. But let's be honest, this is not about love. It's about control and domination. Kimal's obsessive pursuit of Kim doesn't respect boundaries. He pushes himself into Kim's life so aggressively that Kim doesn't even get the chance to say otherwise. Kimal might not have evil intentions, but love based on fear or obligation is not love, it's manipulation. His entire presence screams, I get what I want no matter what, and that's toxic masculinity in its purest form wrapped in romance. Number 7. Thorne from Thorne Type. Before anyone comes for me, I know Thorne and Type are one of the most iconic couples in BL. But let's be real, Thorne displays some strong toxic masculinity traits. He's obsessed with Type, to the point where he starts making decisions that limit Type's personal growth. He even tries to convince Type to give up his dreams under the excuse of not wanting him to be stressed, when it's really about keeping Type close and dependent on him. This isn't emotional control. People in love or obsessed with their partner often do so. Their whole life will be surrounded around them. And let's not forget type is just as toxic, which makes their relationship feel like a battle for dominance instead of love. Viewers often blame type for being aggressive, but Thorne is the one playing the long game of emotional manipulation. Number 8. Day from Love Syndrome. What can we even say about Day? Even before his accident and memory loss, the relationship dynamics were already skewed. Day started off as intimidating, emotionally manipulative, and power-hungry. He systematically made his partner so vulnerable that they became completely dependent on him for emotional validation. Day's mindset reflects a classic toxic masculine trait, the belief that I'm the man, so I hold all the power. It's this very attitude that made their love feel less like a partnership and more like a power play. Number 9. Vegas from Porsche. If we're talking about the king of walking red flags, it's Vegas. On the surface, he's charming and sophisticated, but behind the scenes Vegas is manipulative and calculative. He uses fear, seduction, and psychological tactics to get what he wants. His relationship with Pete is one of the most controversial in BL because it started with intimidation and obsession, making Pete feel like prey rather than a partner. Vegas embodies the darkest side of toxic masculinity, the belief that dominance equals love, and while some fans argue he's redeemed later in the story, it's impossible to ignore how much his early behavior reflects an unhealthy and terrifying dynamic. Number 10. Elis from Bad Guy My Boss. Elis is the ultimate toxic masculine archetype. He's powerful, obsessed, and loves breaking boundaries just to test limits. Instead of nurturing his relationship, he keeps his partner Pate indebted to him both emotionally and psychologically. He thrives on making Pate sad, insecure, and dependent, twisting every situation into a mind game. Elis doesn't just want love. He wants total dominance. He is chaotic, dangerous, and one of the most intense examples of toxic masculinity in BL history. Number 11. Fallen from Fallen Rook the series. Fallen is one of those characters who couldn't find peace not because of the world, but because of his own toxic masculinity. At first, he's controlling, hot-headed, and refuses to compromise. Instead of trying to build a healthy connection, Fallen wants to dominate his partner emotionally. And let's be honest, he picked the wrong guy for that. Sherbet is just as stubborn and fiery, so their dynamic turns into a battlefield. But here's the twist. Fallen actually grows. He realizes his aggressive, toxic approach won't work on someone like Sherbet. So instead of trying to control him, he steps back, learns to respect boundaries, and starts listening. He proves that you can shed toxic masculinity and choose love built on trust and respect. That's rare for a BL series, and it makes Fallen's journey one of the most interesting on this list. Number 12. Peo from Love in the Air. Peo is often praised as the perfect boyfriend, rich, protective, and head over heels for Rain. But let's be real, his love comes with a dose of toxic masculinity. He treats Rain less like an equal partner and more like a fragile child who needs constant supervision. Peo decides what's best for Rain, leaving little room for Rain's independence. This overprotectiveness, while romanticized in BL, creates an unhealthy power dynamic where Rain slowly becomes dependent on him. It's the classic dominant top, submissive bottom trope taken to the extreme, and it's time we stop pretending it's cute. For reference, we can compare Peo's approach to Prop Eyes. Both are protective and make their boyfriends rely on them, but the difference is clear. Prop Eye and Sky's relationship feels like a partnership because Sky chooses to depend on him out of trust and comfort. But with Peo, Rain doesn't seem to have that choice. The dynamic feels unbalanced and more like emotional control than care. That's all for this episode. What do you think about this video? Did your favorites make it on this list? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on more spicy BL content. And if you want me to make a part 2 about toxic masculine BL bottoms, I will, because they exist too. Just let me know if it's a content you will like to see. So smash that like button and let me know in the comments which one is your favorites on this list. And before you go, drop the BL series you're currently obsessed with in the comments section. I want to see what's keeping you up at night. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.